Hello guys, my name's Ryoka and today I'm going to show you how to make this awesome kunai from Naruto. It's pretty easy and you can take it to every con with you because it's out of EVA form, so it's flexible and you don't have to worry that you actually poke someone in the eye since it doesn't do anything. It isn't even hard, so hey, good for you if you're a cosplayer and want a kunai to take with you to conventions.
What you're gonna need is a piece of paper, a pen, some high-density EVA foam, a 50mm foam bevel, a set square, another pen that is visible on foam, a box cutter, and a foam dummy to get the idea of shape and dimension. So start with bringing the shape into 2D on paper for the pattern that you need for your prop. You can change the sizes until you're satisfied with it. Then copy your pattern onto the foam twice. Take a pen that is actually visible on foam and try to make it as neat as possible, and also you can redraw some lines with a ruler. Now you take your box cutter and cut it in a straight line with a ruler again, but in a 45-degree angle, so you have it easier later on. You actually need to cut every edge in a 45-degree angle, so make sure to make this as neat as possible. Now you take your pattern again and draw on the folding lines where you want to fold your form. Also be nice and neat with them and correct them with a ruler if you think they aren't straight enough. Then take your box cutter again with your ruler and also cut it in a triangle, more like 45-degree shapes. When you're done cutting it out, you put on glue on every edge. I used my contact glue for now. To get the idea how long your handle should be, you can take your own hand to measure it and then you cut it out twice. Looks good. Now for the ring on top, you can just test it out and figure out how big you want it to be. Then you cut it in an angle, since when you glue it together afterwards it will form a ring. Now you put on glue on both flat sides of the handle parts and cut some little triangles on top and on the bottom so you can fit in the ring and the blade. We're just pressing down the folded edges now to get the form and the shape that you're gonna desire. What you're gonna do now is just cutting off the axis form and make this as nice and neat as possible, and just pressing down both parts of the handle again. Here you can see it a little bit better what I did. So just cut it all off since we need both flat surfaces. Yeah, and now we're just attaching the ring onto it. So now we can apply the glue to the flat surfaces, and when it's dried after 10 minutes we can press it together. Also make it sure to make it nice and neat, so less work afterwards with the sanding. Just test it in between sometimes. Looks good. And now to set this little shit, like you can see that it is stirred up a bit there and here and like all the sides. So what you're gonna need is sanding paper. So what I would recommend is starting with 120, then go a bit higher with 220. And to fix everything up, 320. And to actually make a smooth surface, I would recommend you to use an object with a flat surface that is somewhat stable. Just wrap it around and start sanding. I would actually say to use a Dremel in this case, but I'm too lazy to set it up and it's already 10 p.m. I guess, so it would be too loud, and yeah, laziness, and it's a bit late, so let's just sand it by hand. Well, I just immediately went up with 220 since it just got too rough. Just go over all the glued edges. Now it's looking like this. You don't really have to care about these little open seams, We're going to heat seal it, and so some more spots will open up, like this one will probably open up so much. But we're going to fix this. And it's really easy. You could use quick seal, but I don't really have quick seal, so I'm going to show you an alternative to quick seal, which is also cheaper than quick seal. But first, let's clean this up with some 320 sanding paper. We're just doing this to get the smoothest edges of all time. But to get it even smoother, heat it up and then gently stroke it with your hand, because we just melted the material a little and want to get it smooth. So when you have something like this, you have two options. Either you sand over it again, or you just fill in the seams. And I don't know, I would probably just sand this down a bit. Like, this isn't too bad, but this is. So let's get some more sanding paper. You can actually do this with every open spot, so just sand it down a bit and then heat it up again and repeat until you're satisfied with it. You can also alter the shape of the form just by heating it up, which is what I did with the tip of the blade, since I wasn't satisfied with it going a bit down. But yeah, it can also be that some spots open up a bit more, so just repeat until you're satisfied, and if there's still some glue peeking out, just pull it off. It's totally fine. No problems with that. The thing with heat sealing is that you actually melt down the material a little, so take your time with it and don't be too hasty, but also don't be too slow, okay? Because then it is too hot and you can actually burn your fingers, which is nothing that you want. So just repeat every step until you are satisfied with the form, with the edges, with everything. But the thing is, there are still open gaps, and if you sand everything down, your prop won't look the shape that you wanted it to look, so don't do that. If there are still some open gaps, you can still fill them in with something like quick seal. So what we're gonna use is elastic structure paste. This is really awesome, and these little one here cost around $5, so it is quite cheap. And to apply it, you can apply it with a spatula, with something just flat, but I'm using my old box cutter. So in the meantime, I got a new one because this is such a cheap thing. But this is quite neat, and it's so straight and everything, so you could actually just use it as something to apply this. So let's apply it. Oh yeah, be a bit careful with the heat gun, since it's still really hot above here, so you could still burn yourself, and you don't want to experience what I experienced down there. Wait, here. It wasn't really nice. So let's get here aside. So actually, just by opening it. It's so nice. I love the consistency of this. So we don't really need that much, so we're just going to work with this. So you're going to take a little bit of this and then put it on here. And that's just all we do now to fill in all the tiny gaps. I just skipped most of it because you get the idea, but tend to use more than to less. But then when you're finally done, you can finally paint. First prime it, and for that we need a little spraying booth. So just take a foam block, some long toothpicks, some tape, and your prop. Just stab 2 of your long toothpicks into your foam block and make sure that they are actually safe and sound, and then use the tape to secure them together. Yay. And after that, you take your third toothpick and break it into half and fit it around the other 2, and also secure this with tape, and also your prop with the tape. To prime it, I used the clear duplicol spray plus that you need to shake well, use a proper respirator, and then put on around 4 to 5 layers of it, thin and then getting thicker with every layer. After it dried for about 4 hours, you can finally airbrush it, and for that you're gonna need newspaper, proper respirator, extra airbrush, and some airbrush colors. So first you're gonna take your newspaper and build up your little airbrush set. To get the metal colors that we are aiming for more popping, we need a black underground. So first off, we're gonna prime our blade black, since it's still gray. And we don't want it, because we want the same metal color finish for every side. So first I wanted to look which metal color looks better, either the chrome one from Vallejo or the dual aluminum from Alclad. So I just tested it on the handle part, but for me personally, the Alclad dual aluminum made race, since it looks more like metal. And you can see it here. It just looks better for some reason. It's just a slight difference. So I just put on more of the Alclad dual aluminum inside of my airbrush and made sure to get every edge and several layers of it on top of it, because you need to work in layers with the Alclad colors. To give it more depth, you're just taking the gunmetal of Vallejo and put it on every edge, like only the edges, to create some kind of weathering, so it looks more like worn out. So this is how it looks like now. Pretty nice, huh? To seal everything, just repeat what we did for priming. And now for the handle part, to finally finish it, just take a strip of white fabric and wrap it around and put some dots every here and now and then you have this finished product. Doesn't it look nice? Nice, huh? I like it.
Congratulations for watching this video so far. Now you know how to make this awesome kunai and how to play around with it, unlike me, because I don't know, I tried a bit with I don't know how to catch it in a cool way. This is impossible to catch it in a cool way. How do you do this? Okay, so thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon, and goodbye.